I figured we'd have something different today. It was kind of more a deeper talk. For those of you who don't know, and probably you'll have no idea, um, I've got pretty bad bipolar. Started really bad when I broke up with this one girl, and I was working at the time. I think, looking back, it was kind of a weird relationship, but it was one of those ones where I was just really stupid. Like, you know, those guys are just stupid and just they want to like preserve the relationship, so they try buying the girl a bunch of stuff. So that's what I was doing, and I was buying like $1,000 gifts and stuff on this girl at the time, because I thought maybe putting in that type of effort would preserve that relationship. But anyways, it failed. I confronted her the one day, and I told her someone messaged me that she was cheating. She got really apprehensive, so she immediately asked, who was it, who was it, who was it? And from that I could just tell she was, because she said who, not like asking who it was means there's more than one person. So at that time I knew something was fishy, and then after I kind of exposed her, she just got all cold and distant. But anyways, I kind of had a mental breakdown after that. I had to go into psychiatric hospital because I just couldn't function anymore. I was just making terrible decisions work-wise. I kind of left my job for another job that was terrible. Basically got mistreated at this new job that I started at. Burned all the bridges at my old job. They wanted me to stay there longer. They offered me more money, but I just wanted to get out of the apartment I was in. It just reminded me of her a lot. So yeah, once that new job failed for me, I had to go to this psychiatric hospital. And after doing all this stuff, obviously I lost everything I had. So lost my apartment, lost my all my things, belongings, and everything, and basically had to move back home all over a messy breakup. And I just, every day I woke up, I just honestly just didn't want to be alive. That's the funny thing about bipolar. It seems like sometimes you're doing way too well, and you know you're doing way too well, and when like the hardness hits, it hits to a point of there's an extreme. Like, you don't understand how bad it can get until you're at the bottom. And I don't know if I can describe it to anybody who doesn't have bipolar, but a lot of people don't understand, and that's fine. But it gets to a point. It's almost tiring. Like, you're past the point of exhaustion just being alive. You just don't want to be anymore. But yeah, so I was at the psychiatric hospital, and my life was basically ruined. I was talking to the doctors, and honestly, it just, at that point, I got put on 2 drugs, or maybe 3. So I got put on Rexulti, which is a bipolar medication, and then I got put on Trinalex, which is an antidepressant. The Rexulti seemed to really help. I really liked that. But just making your mind like almost work when it's already shattered kind of feels messed up in a way, because it's already been broken. It feels like, I don't know, if I hadn't gone to that point of like messed upness, I think I would have been better. But since I let it go for so long and never got treatment for it, I think it was worse than it would have been if I would have paid attention to my feelings and depression earlier in life. I don't know. So yeah, I spent, I think, 3-4 weeks in this hospital. I get out, and I start to kind of get my life back on track. It took a long time, like 4 or 5 months. I finally got that old job back, and I got a dog. I got really attached to the dog, but sure enough, in 3 or 4 months of working at the same job that I had, the original job that I had, they basically told me that my job didn't exist. So they said, your job doesn't exist, and if you want to still work for the company, you have to drive, because I was already driving an hour to get to work every day, and they wanted me to drive an hour and 30 minutes to get to work every day, and logically it makes no sense because I don't get paid enough to do that. So I told them, if you really want me to stay in the company, you're gonna have to pay me extra for gas, because I can't make this work. And they said, no, we're not paying extra. And then I was like, well, I can't stay here. So I got a real nasty letter from them saying that I didn't show up for work, and I was like, no, I can't work there because it's just, there's no money to be made. So that was all messed up. So then I had to move back with my mom once again, get rid of my apartment. This was after like my family was trying to help me with the down payments, because the apartments up here are so expensive. Rent for 1 month is $1,300 Canadian, and that's just the money you make. It doesn't add up. Like, you can't afford that. But yeah, so basically work fucked me over. Then I come back home, and my dog, he gets real sick, and at this point I've only had him for, I would say, close to 7 months, something like that. But I guess he passes away, and that really messed me up. He had something wrong with his bowels. He was rescued. I got him off Kijiji, but it's just crazy how everything kind of just bad that can happen happens. But yeah, from there, recently I actually got into another relationship, and just ended. And I was kind of, the reason they said was because they couldn't handle not having enough attention with basically my bipolar. My bipolar, sometimes, I know it sounds like an excuse, but sometimes it just makes me not want to hang around other people. But that's, it kind of makes you feel messed up sometimes. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Just, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It's just, it's, 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 I'm going back to school right now, so I'm taking a course in welding, and because of this COVID virus right now, everything's online, and it's really difficult because I feel like the teachers haven't adjusted, so they're putting way too much work on, and like, I'm not getting it. I don't even know how to get into some of these websites for the work they have on there, so it's just frustrating, and I'm like way behind on all this stuff. But at the same time, like, my mind is at a point with this whole relationship stuff. I don't know why it fixates on it, but it does for some reason. Where it can't almost function to a normal extent. I just want to like lay in bed and wait for everything to disappear, it feels like. And like, that's obviously not logical, you can never do that, but my brain just feels like it's had enough and just wants to turn off or something. But it's kind of funny to think about how the mind plays such an important part of your life. It's like, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, without your mind, the body is basically shit. Like, so many times where my mind just doesn't work. I want it to work, but it'll get to a point where it's just like everything just seems like shit, and I don't understand why I'm trying. No matter what I do, it always fails, and it's just like, it gets to a point where I'm like, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I will always fail. And it gets almost like, I don't know. I just think I probably shouldn't say this, but when they asked me at the hospital I went to, they're just like, well, first to be admitted, they asked like, well, how did you, like, why are you concerned, and what's wrong with you, and all these, how do you feel, and they ask you if you tried to like kill yourself before. And yeah, I have multiple times. Like, even when I was a young kid, I think I was like 11 years old, tried to kill myself with rat poison, bleach, everything. And it's and thinking about it, it's kind of messed up. Like, no kid that young should try to be trying to kill themselves. Like, it just doesn't make sense for a child to be doing that shit, like, that young, to be like, because I was probably like 11 or 10 years old when I first tried. That's just messed up. Like, I don't know if it's the world we live in or my brain, but maybe a combination of the both. You shouldn't, that's just not right, I guess. Yeah, I thought it might be a better, more deep topic. And everybody else has bipolar, they can kind of relate and talk about it. But yeah, like, things that I don't know if I'm ADD too. I'm having another psychiatrist appointment on Friday, and we're gonna talk about other things that I could do, but I can't focus on anything, it seems like, if I try to. So I wonder if I almost have ADD as well, because I can't think sometimes. I feel like I'll probably be having to go on more drugs and stuff. It's funny though, like, things that I like to do, I will overdo, like, to the point of weirdness, like playing this game. Like, there's no actual benefit to playing this game. It's just a video game. You only get so many accomplishments, and after that it's done, right? It's almost like I obsess over it, like weird things that have no value I get attached to, and it seems like, I don't know if it's like a dopamine addiction or something, but I just find it funny, like my brain. There's no logic behind it. It just does what it wants a lot of the time. Like, I know like people are like, oh, you have control, but really don't. Like, it does what it wants. Like, I'll try to put in effort a lot of times. Every time I put in effort, it just turns to shit. So, I think it's kind of taught me that just, most of the time, just failure is inevitable. So, like, what's the point of trying? But yeah, that's all I got really to say. That was a more serious topic for tonight. I always feel videos are more lighthearted and stupid and stuff like that, but there's a lot more serious, I think, aspects going on in reality and stuff. Like, nobody really watches this, but maybe in the future I can look back on this and respect myself a little bit more rather than just being an idiot. Showing some more true colors rather than just a fancy dancy fake show. It's hard to talk about this stuff constantly. Like, I already talk about it with I don't know how many people, like therapists, counselors, people, and they ask why you sad. It's just like, I can't explain why I'm sad. I just don't want to be alive. It gets redundant, like, and it gets to the point where I feel like I'm just crying for pity, but it's like, it's not pity. It's just, I really don't want to be living. It's like messed up, but and it makes me wonder why I feel like this. Like, why do I always have this feeling in the back of my mind that I just want to end it? It's interesting. And sometimes it seems like the drugs, they just don't help. Like, it's actually like a mental thing. Like, my brain psychologically doesn't want to exist. It's just, I can't explain it. Like, some days it's like I'm way too happy, and those days are so rare. Like it's not like, I don't know, it's not like I'm happy like all the time. It's just like maybe one day out of the year, like I'm just like way too happy, freakishly happy. The rest I'm just miserable and want to be dead. So trying to understand it, like, it's really hard a lot of times. Like, you try to think, oh, this is why this is happening, But most of the time you just have to accept things are just shit. It feels like.
There's one over there, Harry. I don't know where he went.
That's all I can really say about
See
that.
over there now.
But hopefully we'll find a more cheerful topic for the next video. Something more lighthearted. I don't plan on doing these all the time because people have their own problems that they are all dealing with and they don't need to hear mine. I just thought it'd be a nice change, really, from always being almost too upbeat. Maybe people can see now that we're all real people. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed the show. I got a mine on the ledge. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Catch me!
They're using up all their money.
Anyone that runs from me, I don't blame you.
That's how it's done. Had enough of you. You're welcome.
Wherever you are.
Not how I want to go. I'm good, thanks.
Oh, they got the perfect hill. They probably were expecting that.
Think I'm scared of you?
Help you out.
There's a mine. Got 3 down. One's coming behind you.
It wasn't so bad, was it? They barely put up a fight.